We just went live. Sorry. You can mention it later, Alpaca. Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. And today we are on the 10th Oreward server, the Patreon server that I run for my folks on the same seed as Hermitcraft Season 10. It's been a lot of fun running a series of parade float build contests here. And we are about to start on the hour. I'm just waiting for my clock to tick over from 11:59 to noon here in Nashville. And we are going to give people, let's say, 30-second warning. We are going to be starting in about 30 seconds. And then folks will have an hour to build. We'll explain more about the rules for you, the viewers at home, once they've started building. Because, honestly, in an hour-long build contest, I could probably afford to fill some of the time talking to you guys about what we're doing. And these folks have all been preparing float concepts that are going to fit with this particular theme and city. We'll talk about those more in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start. Build now. 1 hour. Ends on the hour. So basically, everybody on our server had the opportunity when the server launched to register a company town of some sort. That we try to do different villages or town-based themes each season of my Patreon server. The one year we did, I think the first year it was just village themed. Like everybody design your own village or town. Then the next year it was build your own research outpost. Can we have the time set to midnight? Yes. Time set midnight. Boom. Okay, mob switch is on. Awesome. So, anyway. Every year, we have a different theme for kind of what the sort of towns or villages are supposed to be like. But one of the requirements is always that it needs to have a grand street, a main thoroughfare, where we will host a parade float build contest of some kind. Now, all of the different towns that want to enter to host one of these contests is going to basically give us sorry, I don't have a prepared speech for this. I'm just kind of waking up and then trying to explain it. Basically, everybody who wants to build a town has 3 months to build the best town they can. We bring in a panel of judges that then ranks the towns, and depending on the town ranking, they get first through 12th choice of what parade float contest they want to host. So, like, for example, a bunch of towns might want Halloween, so that might go to the first place town, you know? But sometimes people are like, I want to do Groundhog Day, and nobody else wants to do Groundhog Day, so that's fine. It just goes to them. Core concept. This town, Noir, is all black and white. It's kind of themed around, like, old noir films. And so all the parade float entries in the contest have to be on the black and white build palette. / game rule do insomnia false. Remind me to change that when we're done with the contest. So I don't think that despawns the ones that are already out. But yeah, that'll at least stop more from spawning. But welcome Freya Avion in the YouTube chat. Welcome Dottie Matra 9, Champagne Jane, Hyena Baboy, Big Papa House, Mini Zoekins, and Kindleless MC in the YouTube chat. Okay, let me quickly switch over here so I've got the live event chat open in Discord. Welcome to Magenta Avocado who says, howdy y'all, good luck. So, to get back to our overview, each town has a different theme. They all tried to do something neat in their own way. Was I banging my head in spectator mode here? Oh, I'm not in spectator mode. I'm in creative. That's why. Yes. Okay, I just turned the overlay off. Great. That's cool. Okay. Core concept. I love that the voice chat icons are on the same thing as Mini HUD. Okay, cool. Welcome, Danish Norwegian. Basically, the different hosting towns each get to host one event. This event is themed around Labor Day in the Noir settlement. And it is reflecting the Noir black and white block palette by requesting all contestants build with grayscale. Contestants who do not build with grayscale will be judged harshly. So, like, I might straight up do a block replace thing. You don't want me doing that. You will have already lost, and then I will be defacing your thing. You don't want it. You don't want it. Those sky squirrels or whatever should be dying soon, hopefully. So, as you can see, the folks who built Noir not only built a series of black and white buildings of various sizes here that make up the main settlement, but they have also begun setting up a skyline across the way there that is going to completely encircle the settlement, it appears, down the line. They've got a good chunk of it knocked out this way. So from street level there, you're not seeing all the Minecrafty terrain. You know, I'm actually going to turn off Voxy temporarily so that we see the view distance that they would see. Yeah, so basically they're building a facade of buildings across the river here around Central Noir. I was going to say, are these buildings actually to scale? Wow, I was thinking that these were tiny buildings, tiny facades.
Most of these buildings are at approximately 1-to-1 scale. The Empire State Building, however, is at 2/5 scale because it does not fit in the world.
This over here is the Empire State Building model. So 2/5 scale, 40% of actual size. Very cool. Welcome, Lockwood & Co. is the best. Welcome, Zoltan, Snar, Freya, Avion. Welcome, Comic Sads. Let's see, a few quick things. Now that we've kind of introduced the concept, which, by the way, I love this little garden here. Are these all real buildings in New York?
They are not. Some of them are original. The museum and the church across from it I designed. And most of the boring buildings on the side streets are just improvised. But
Fair
most
enough.
of the buildings on the main stretch are real or based on real buildings.
Very cool. Got a fantastic selection of New York City architecture here. I'm just going to kind of slowly move around, give you guys some different views of the city, because the parade floats, they've got an hour to build them, and that takes some time. While we've got that fantastic view there, why don't I also go ahead and do a little bit of housekeeping. Just as a reminder, you can find my stream schedule at joehills.net/soon. That usually also includes my upcoming conventions. I don't add those until I'm officially invited or have tickets. And I have just bought tickets to Tennessee Game Days. Let's see. So if you guys are interested in coming and playing some Heartcraft TCG, Clank, or some other board games with me and other folks in the Nashville area, that's a great time to do it. Once again, I'm not a guest of that convention. They not sponsor my show. I just buy a ticket for my family every year. They have a family pass for, I think, $110 and individual pass for cheaper. Registration, yeah. Individual registration is $45, $110 for family. But yeah, it's a great event, very chill. It's not like, if you've been to PAX Unplugged, it's basically just the library section from PAX Unplugged. There's just hundreds and hundreds of games in this library, and you check them out and you play in a huge open gaming hall all weekend. It's just all weekend open gaming. No crazy panels or events. It's not a hype convention. It's a gaming get-together. And I've been attending, I think I've been to at least a dozen, but maybe 15 of these over the years, because they do it every spring and every fall. So Tennessee Game Days is a great chance to come hang out. I'll be there November 7th and 9th. I'm going to have to miss on the 8th because I had a previous engagement that I am very much looking forward to, but unfortunately just has to conflict. So if you're going, there'll be hopefully some other folks from the Joe Hills fan community there with their TCG cards ready to hang out and play. I know we've gotten this only went up like less than an hour or two ago, and at least one person from my Patreon community has already said they're going to be there. So It's a lot of fun. I hope you all come hang out. Other stuff I need to mention. During these Parade Float build contest streams, we do rotational tips. Camera rotates $1 angular for every, or 1 degree angular for every dollar that rolls in. Let's see. Another thing that we have to do from a housekeeping standpoint is I need to mention that we have a new Hermitcraft shop at shop.hermitcraft.com. And I'm pretty pleased with some of the merch samples I've received from them. I've got the Hermitcraft National Parks style hat here, which I like. I like that it has a little HC on the back too, because I wear my hat backwards when I'm streaming, and it's more comfortable that way. And I've also got the Hermitcraft Paint Splatter mug, 11 ounce, with the pink, because I'm going to be giving that to Badger, who enjoys the color pink, after using this for promotional material needs now. Okay, what other housekeeping do we have? Just trying to run through everything. We did the tip and link. We did that. Okay. Let's see, my alerts here. I'll have to go look at that later. Cool. Mini Zoikin says, I've been part of your Patreon for an entire year now. August roller coaster parade contest was so awesome. Yeah, oh, that's... I was like, I know I'm forgetting something. Yeah, if you guys enjoy seeing what my community can do in this build contest, you too can be part of it if you have a Patreon account. $5 a month gets you onto my Patreon Discord. $10 a month gets you onto my Patreon Minecraft servers like this one. This is our final event on this physical hardware. I am going to be migrating this server, the 10th Oreward SMP server, to some new hardware. It's currently running on Xeon 2288G processors, which 4 or 5 years ago, that was the fastest single-core performance server-grade processor you could get. But we are moving over to the new gold standard, the Apple Silicon M4, for our servers very soon. I'm hoping to get that implemented by the end of the month. So, because the OVH bill for the lease renewal on our existing hardware goes through at the end of the month. So, I'm hoping to stay ahead of that. King of the Madden says, can I join you? As I mentioned, if you go to patreon.com/JoeHills, $10 a month gets you access to my Minecraft servers, $5 a month gets you access to my Discord. Thank you for asking, King of the Madden. Okay, let's see, what else have we got? I have started brainstorming patch concepts for my Patreon servers. I've been thinking a lot about getting an embroidery machine recently because I was helping a friend design Dungeon Crawler Carl cosplay patches. And, you know, the amount of money he was spending on having somebody else in, like, Seattle make these patches and mail them to him via Etsy. I was like, you know, I could just buy you... I could just not buy you. If you can commit to buying some patches from me, maybe I can justify buying this machine. So I'm thinking, like, I know people who need custom patches all the time outside of Minecraft. So that could be part of a business, is embroidering custom patches for my friends and acquaintances. And then, you know, it's like, okay, I could also make Joe Hill's merch patches and mail them to viewers. And that would be cool. But then I started thinking, like, what if in addition to, like, the Joe Hill's branded patches, we also had server branded patches for, like, this server is called the 10th Oreward server. And maybe have a mission patch for that. Maybe have a mission patch for the next season, which I'm tentatively calling the 11 Storm server. The, you know, other seasons like Deep Slate 9 or 7 of Mine. We've had a lot of Star Trek related season names, you know. Yeah, Deep Slate 9 had the best title. King of the Band says, what if I'm on Switch? Switch doesn't run Java Minecraft, I don't think. I mean, I don't know that for sure. You might be able to jailbreak it, but I don't know enough about... It's a Java Minecraft thing. I don't run any Bedrock servers. Hyena Boy says, I need to actually figure out how to quickly and securely sew patches onto stuff, but I would buy a Joe Hills patch. Yeah, I think patches are a really cool merch opportunity. I'd like to get into doing more stuff like that. And it's just a matter of getting the upfront capital together. But, like, all the other pieces have clicked into place at this point. So I'm going to start working on designs and stuff anyway, because it's a lot easier for me to go to people and ask for money to help with the upfront capital for this sort of thing. If I'm like, here's the specific, here's 8 patch designs that I've already made that I think I could sell people. Or at a certain point, I could do a pre-order on the patches. Yeah, if I designed a series of patches and then said, hey, we're going to do a pre-order, I'm going to produce the patches as soon as I raise enough money to buy the supplies to make them, I hate doing open-ended pre-orders like that, though. I'd really like to have the machine in hand and operating it before, but, like, if I was going to go to, like, a family member and say, hey, I'm trying to get this upgrade for my business, if you could toss me a few $100 for an embroidery machine, here are some of the patches that I've already designed that I think I could sell. I can get that back to you eventually. Because, yeah. We're just not there. Kickstarter situation. The thing is, Superstone, it's not worth doing a Kickstarter for less than 10 grand. And I can't justify asking 10 grand for an embroidery machine. Like, just the amount of effort that the amount of distraction it would cause every other part of my business for me to launch a Kickstarter. Basically, I've been kicking around like, okay, if I did a Kickstarter where I'm like, okay, I'm going to completely build out a workshop with the laser etcher, the embroidery machine, all of these things, and I need 10 grand for it. But, like, it just doesn't... I haven't figured out how to make it seem like a reasonable ask. Because it's like, I really only need, like, maybe 2 or 3 grand to get the laser etcher and the embroidery machine and a bunch of the materials. And so it's like, I don't know. It's just easier to try. Like, I just keep assuming, like, if I have, a few good extra months, I'll be able to just save up the money for these machines on my own. But I've been eating through my savings rather than building my savings. So that's clearly delusional. But if I'm already eating through my savings, I can't afford to take a bunch of time I'm spending on the stuff that does make money to invest in a Kickstarter that will pay off later. Like, I'm basically, yeah, or at least not, like, the risk-reward balance has to be right. But, yeah. I don't know. I'm still brainstorming a lot of this stuff, but I've got some really good ideas. We don't really have good data yet on how the Hermitcraft merch shop is going, or at least I don't have access to it. So I'm also waiting kind of for the first official, like, okay, because, like, we still haven't done a real launch. We kind of just soft launched it on a few Hermits channels, but, like, to my knowledge, like, I don't know if Grian and Mumbo have been promoting it yet, right? Like, once 100% of the Hermits have announced it, that's going to be kind of when we know what to expect. So it might be, hey, a few months from now, I'll get a check from that, and then I can invest that in these machines. But any money coming at my way from that won't be coming my way immediately. Because we have not only upfront costs to cover, but it also just takes time to process all that stuff. So that's the other thing, is it's like, in the amount of time it would take me to organize a Kickstarter to raise 2 grand, maybe I'll just get a check for 2 grand from them. I don't know. That might be a completely unreasonable expectation. I might get a check for $200. I have literally no idea what to expect. So, yeah. I don't know. So we'll see. Centortron says, if possible, I'd like to draw attention to Penn Station in the back of the town. Yeah, let's fly a little bit around the Penn Station here. Woo. We got... Looks like... Ooh, I like this interior here. This is pretty cool with all the trains.
The interior is far from complete.
Your audio is definitely messed up. Just so you know, your mic is not working right. You are like 1/8 the volume you should be and croaking. So, maybe check a wire is connected. The interior is far from complete. Ah, fair enough. I mean, this is still a great start to it, though. This is a really impressive start. This whole train interchange bit here is really awesome. Let's head up and out, though. I mean, the interiors on my buildings aren't complete either, but that's fine. You got plenty of time left. The trains also have the portals in them. Oh, so you arrive from the Nether via Penn Station. That is thematic. Very nicely done. Yeah, I've never been to Penn Station. Like, it's one of those things. Like, it's one of the most like there's all of these places that in New York City are so iconic and you see them in media and stuff, but like I just haven't been there. Sorry. I'm ignorant. Oh man. Spent ages looking through historical photos and diagrams to get the Penn Station right. Oh, I'm sure you did. It looks great though. Pum 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 pum. Okay. Centurion says, looking through floor plans from the early 1900s was not an easy find nor read. Did you contact the New York Public Library? Because you know they have people whose job it is to, like, help researchers from around the world with stuff. They have, like, an entire reference staff for things like that. You tried to, but you didn't get a response. Ah, it sucks. Mom Paka says, I really need to get back on the server again. Haven't had time to play much, but I love these builds. Ah, fair enough. Yeah, they're a lot of fun. Well, I've got some things that I want to do with server stuff. Now that we're kind of winding down the Parade Float build contest, our last big thing is the map judging, which I have had a hard time scheduling that because there's a bunch of Hermitcraft related weekend things coming up that are not announced yet. And part of the reason they're not announced yet is because we're not sure exactly which weekends some of them are going to be on. Which means that, like, I'm like, I can't schedule having a bunch of guests on a weekend that's a 50-50 chance might be like a Hermitcraft stream day or something. You know what I mean? So I have some stuff coming up that I'm looking forward to getting on the calendar for the Discord Patreon folks. But it's being held up by a bunch of other things that I'm super excited about and can't wait to talk to you guys about, but that we just don't have locked in yet. But yeah, the last Hermitcraft stream day was a huge success. Everybody's like, why don't we do more of these? We need to do more stuff like this. We've got... I'm in the early stages of organizing the next Hermitcraft server world tour. That's going to be sometime in September. So just a lot of moving parts right now. Zoltan Starf says, I realize it's not illegal to lurk on both Twitch and YouTube. It's not. You are welcome to have both chats open. I don't recommend having both streams open because they're literally the same, and I get no... There is no compensation or boost or anything I get from viewership numbers. I don't look at viewership numbers. I occasionally generate a report of them when I apply to, like, speak at PAX or whatever. I'll be like... You know, if I'm doing an event on streaming, it's like Joe Hills is a streamer who has X number of viewers over the, or X who streamed X number of hours with X number of views over the last year or whatever. Just to like, these are not metrics that like make me money. These are just like, okay, I just need a number so I can show these people I'm legit. You know what I mean? But like, watch on whatever service is best for you. Welcome, Sax. I am doing well. Just as a reminder, we are 24 minutes into the build contest. We got several floats coming up here. 34 or 36 more minutes to go. Zoltan Starf says, not even ad pennies? No, the streams don't make any ad revenue. There's no ad revenue from the streams. Why don't I come check out the museum? Yeah, where's the museum? I don't know enough about New York City to know which one. I'm sure that which one's the museum is probably really obvious to people from New York. I'm assuming this one because it's got like stuff in it. Are these fossils? Skyline of Brooklyn is seen from Manhattan. Ooh. Centauratron says, I need to say huge thanks to Super for help on Noir. Basically, everything outside Penn and the roads was them after I burnt myself out on the project. Uh-oh, turtle cut. Yeah, that's a very colorful turtle. Monochrome quilt series by Stellar Spider. Oh, that's fun. These are a series of maps, it looks like. Designed to look like quilts. Zipper quilt by Stellar Spider. Very cool. You know, the idea of using map art to make quilts is actually really cool. It would be neat to do quilts on in server maps. See, I love coming over here and seeing what you guys get up to, because you guys make such cool stuff. Mailman Dave pops in and says, good luck to the contestants. Thank you very much, Mailman Dave, for wishing them well. Yeah, Stellar makes cool stuff indeed. Okay, what's we got up here? We got a little turtle pond. The only real color in here other than the water. I guess water is the color in both areas. That's cool. Then we're out on the roof. Very neat. Very cool. Bum, bum, bum. More parade float building is occurring. Who could know what it is gonna be? I'm not worrying. I think this building is the one that inspired the Continental Hotel in John Wick, but I'm not sure. In the alley between the Empire State Building and the movie theater, you can see an origin story taking place. The Flatiron Building is what Kindle says. Ah. So Empire State Building and the hotel. Uh-oh. Is Uncle Ben dying out here? No, I think that's Batman's parents. How are you chromaing out part of the people? What is that? Are those... Oh, interesting. Because I'm an admin, I can see the armor stands or something? In spectator mode. That's so weird. In spectator mode, you can view armor stands. Huh. Game mode creative. Yeah, now they're gone. There's quite a few invisible armor stands used to make various props. That makes sense. Let's try tossing some of that stuff there so I can have an open hand. Bum, 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 bum. Guardian Farm Shop. Ba-da-da-da-da. Little black and white TARDIS here from early Doctor Who. That's fun. La da da. This little thing feels like it's the apartment near the TARDIS. Is that this one? No, clearly not. Oh, weird. I'm getting some sort of weird crackle on my audio. Maybe that's why Centauratron's audio sounded weird to me. Yeah, when that starts happening, hold on. I need to unplug in and replug in my USB audio thing. One sec. Test, test, test. Okay. Options. Music and sounds. Okay, Centauratron, sorry for complaining about your mic earlier. If I'm getting those noises when I was doing the door, that might have been on my end. But, okay. Midtown. The Thin Man. Charlie Chaplin's Modern Times. Hey, I watched this about a year ago. It's pretty good. It's very funny. Okay. And we got little black and white heads. We got gray potions. Very cool. Did I find the room you were talking about? Sorry, I got distracted by fixing my audio. Centauratron says, I remember you mentioning watching the movie and liking it. That's why I made the movie poster. Oh, that's kind of you. Okay, so over by the TARDIS. Let's try this apartment. This is maybe more of a department store. Okay. So, apartment near the TARDIS. Superstone says here. This one. Tracer Bull, Private Eye. Oh, very cool. Those are fun little pieces of evidence. Got a drink there. Sitting on the desk with the feet up. Very cool. I feel like I need to turn my brightness up. It is up. It's a very cool aesthetic for this whole area. Got laundry or whatever over here. It's the Tracer Bullet office from Calvin and Hobbes. Ah, very nice. Okay. So. I feel like we're in good shape here. Lots getting done, yeah. I like the little, since we have a parade going, we have all these little street barriers, like, hey, cross streets are closed or whatever. Main street's closed. Centauratron's idea. Very cool. Very cool. I love just flying around these builds. Sorry if I'm not saying too much, but like, yeah, this construction site here is really cool. I just enjoy moving around. Centauratron says, Noir was inspired by Spider-Man Noir after watching Into the Spider-Verse, and me subsequently finding great interest in the grayscale aesthetic. I thought it could be cool to do an area doing only those blocks. I mean, this is a great execution of, like, it was a good idea. And this is a fantastic execution. It's very rare you see something like this in Minecraft. Because it takes a lot of thought and... Centauratron says, Nora was started well before the introduction... Nora was started before the introduction of Pale Oak, so we were limited on things like doors and signage. Yeah, that's kind of cool that worked out, too. Queen Dark Lady says, I haven't seen this in a while, so it looks cool. Yeah, I'm glad. Oh, one thing I wanted to look up. We've got 25 minutes. So, while our folks are working on their builds here, I wanted to use that 25 minutes to try and figure something out. So, F3 and D... So we recently added on YouTube a new feature called channel memberships, which lets people have like a little @ symbol next to them, and then also they can use like emotes and stuff in the YouTube chat. And when I first set it up, it only let me set up 4 emotes, and it said, okay, as you add or as people sign up for memberships, you can have more. And I think we're up to 12 emote slots now, and we've used 8 or so. So I need to figure out what emotes we want to add. Let me try and work backwards from what they told me, because one of the things was I was trying to encourage people to sign up for Gritmonger. Welcome to supporter. You've got @ symbol. I wanted to encourage people to sign up for that on their own rather than doing gifted ones for a few reasons. One, I'm not sure if gifted ones count toward the like membership count for adding emotes. There's probably a way to figure that out by trial and error, which is what I was hoping to do. But I haven't had the chance to do the math on that yet, especially because the reporting on that is delayed by a day. So I'll know like at 7 o'clock tomorrow, or no, I'll know at 7 o'clock tonight how many supporters I had at the end of the stream yesterday, and how many of them bought their own and how many of them were gifted. And then we can look at the emote cap from there. But YouTube's tallying of and reporting on this stuff is lagging. But also because YouTube takes a bigger cut than Patreon or PayPal. So if you're just like, oh man, I want to give away 100 YouTube subs or whatever, that's $200. If you wanted to give me $200, please consider doing it directly via PayPal, because I would get almost $200 if you did that. Whereas if you buy $200 worth of YouTube subs, I would get like 140, which is still $140 I did not have, and I'm not here to complain. And maybe you want to demonstrate to YouTube, hey, YouTube, I'm going to give you this money because I think you should pay more attention to this Joe Hills guy and promote him in your algorithm. Because I will say, YouTube definitely factors in how much somebody makes for them into the algorithm and when they suggest this people or not. But, like, I got rent and health insurance due. Like, please, 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 if you're considering tossing a ton of money at YouTube, consider PayPal as well, unless it's not available in your country or something. But yeah, I'm happy for folks to buy themselves the supporter thing, especially because we might be doing supporter-only chats on days where, like, news is particularly rough out in the real world, and we don't want a bunch of bots or just randos driving by and kind of being obnoxious. Boy, there's a lot of these triggers. But yeah. But yeah, so let's see. Money can't buy me love, don't buy me love. So I'm thinking the 4 emotes we're gonna add next. Because we got 4 slots right now. We've got 2 little dancing people emotes that people use in the Discord when I put on music, and so that would be 2 of the slots. Yeah, dance left and dance right. And then can I just drag an emote or a thing into, okay, open link. Can I drag that emote in here? You dragged a URL into OBS. This will add the link as a source. Yes? Yes. Yeah, so like we got little dance things. One that goes that way, one that goes the other way, you know, that sort of thing. Open link. I don't think these are just the same picture inverted. No, they're not. These are 2 separate pictures. They just look very similar. So, yeah, so we got these 2 here. And let's see. If I go to my Discord emoji list, I've got a D20 with a 20 and a D20 with a 1 on it. We've also got phone jail. You can go to phone jail. We've got isolation tank. Ooh, hidden lake. Hidden lake's really pretty. I don't know what it expresses tranquility, which some people might not like, but I think it's important. We have morning in Nashville. That's a photograph I took. I don't know. As a good morning emote. Let me go ahead and copy that one in. This is a picture I took before the pandemic, actually, of the Nashville skyline from... It's not very cartoony. It's like actually just a picture of Nashville from the Gulch. But yeah, a howdy one would probably be good. I do like the 20 and the 1 for like you rolled a 20 or you rolled a 1 on something. Let me show you. These are photographs I took of dice that I actually use when I play D&D. And I know a lot of people like their emoji to be illustrations rather than photographs. But, you know, something Joe Hill's difference. Something Joe Hill's difference. Something Joe Hill's difference. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Joe Hill's difference. But yeah, a howdy emoji probably would be better. We've got our 3 float contestant groups still working. 17 minutes remain in the build contest. It's looking good. Everything's looking good. I'm looking forward. For those of you who are not familiar with the format, the presenters or the folks building the floats will present what they've been working on. Okay, let's make a group for these. Can I add a group? Emotes. Put those all in that group and then hide it. Okay. Howdy. I think a y'all emote and a howdy emote. The nice thing about the y'all having a separate y'all emote is you could chain it with like howdy or with mood or with valid. Valid, y'all. Mood, y'all, right? So I kind of think the howdy and the y'all emotes need to be y'all valid. Yeah, exactly. We could have a whole syntax. Hyena Bad Boy says, Jumpity emote like the Kermit Scream meme. This TBH, y'all. Yeah. Howdy, mood. I like... Okay, so here's what I'm thinking is, so the little dancing people emoji, as well as the Heart Joe and the Joe No emoji, were all, like, hand-drawn on pencil. Joe Hill's difference... It maybe should be an entire merch line. Joe Hill's difference, magnetic poetry. Not sure Joe Hill's difference would be legible in emote form. Well, the thing is, having a minus emote and a plus emote... Plus could be... The thing is, I like plus in that it has the same accent as this TBH. But it's like, yeah, hey, I agree. Hey, hey, let's do a quick... Hey, do people think this is a good idea or a bad idea? Pluses or minuses in the chat, right? So yeah, Joe Hill's minus would be Joe Hill's difference. Well, if there was an equal sign. You know what I mean. Having, honestly, an entire equation structure of emotes where we've got, like, multiply, divide. Now, if I get 5,000 members on YouTube, I'll have 54 emotes available to me. Which, just to point out, we could have every capital letter in ASCII. As well as many symbols, as well as some dumb faces. Yeah, 100 or times 1,000, yeah. Yeah, keeping it 100. Oh yeah, I guess we can take down the setting up now sign since we've started. I mean, technically the entire stream is setting up until we do the judging, which is on the hour at 12:48. Okay, I don't know what that is, but I'm going to ban you and then Google it and then probably also make that word illegal on. Yeah, honestly, I don't know what that is. Yeah, we're going to add that to our banned words list because I don't want to deal with it. If somebody shows in here promoting a product or something and I don't know what it is, I'm just going to start automatically banning the word because I've noticed that usually it's not just one person that does it that day. It's like a series of bots or people getting paid. And it's just easier to nip that in the bud. Just, you know, it's okay to nip it. Nip it good. Okay, not permitted terms and phrases, blocked terms and phrases. Okay. Math jokes. Superstone says, come ride the elevator. Ooh. One of the charity D&D games I was in, we got to this building, and it had a wicker basket inside of it on a rope. And if you pressed a gem, it would make the wicker basket rise or fall inside of a central shaft in the building, so you could go to the different floors without using stairs. And the elf in the party was just like, "Oh my gosh, this is the best. This makes me so happy. I'm absolutely elated." And I'm like, "Ooh, can we call it an alpha later?" And the DM was not pleased. It's like, don't set us up for this stuff if you don't want it, man. Welcome, Woodland Wizard. Okay. Where is the elevator? TP. Joe Hill says... I like that the autocomplete, I start typing S and it will send me to 5 Ooperstone. It's like, you're typing super, you just don't know it. Okay. I'm always worried about using elevators in creative mode because I'm afraid I'm going to punch a hole in them. How does it work? Button on the wall. I cannot see a button. At head level. Oh, whoa! This is a very high elevator. Whoa. Okay, that's pretty cool. That reminds me of riding the elevator in the Sears Tower. Empire State Building is a tall building. Yeah, apparently. Welcome, Melina Moo. Glad you could join us. Okay. Oof. Let's go ahead here. Bum, 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 bum. We've got about 8 minutes left in our parade flip build contest. Getting a quick stretch in before the judge in. Melina Moose says, how we doing? Doing well. Doing pretty. Super swell. Okay. Spectator, welcome to Spectator. It's really hard to engage the Elytra in creative mode. I have not gotten the knack for it. These fireworks barely explode. Look at that little puff. That's just terrible. But I do really enjoy flying over Penn Station, seeing the trains down there. That's so cool. Fallen and hit space once. Yeah, I'm not good at that yet. I'm really pleased that everybody's following the constraints about keeping it grayscale. I do not want to have to be a jerk about that. So, thank you to all our participants. We're going to get a closer look at these builds in about 6 minutes. Statue of Liberty, woo! Getting ready to type out the 5-minute warning in 3, 2, 1. 5-minute warning. 5 minutes to build. 5-minute warning. 5 minutes to build. Do 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 do. La da 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 da. Da, 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 da. Do I have a good trident here? No. I want to go ahead and check out this Empire, or not Empire State Building, this Statue of Liberty. Obviously not to scale, or not 1-to-1 scale, but still looking very cool. Clearly depicts what it's supposed to be, visible from the island there. Oh yeah, yeah. So fall, then space once. There we go. A lot of great little facades here. How long have I been playing Minecraft? I started playing Minecraft a week before they added the Nether. And by they, I mean Notch. A week before Notch added the Nether. The outer ring of buildings were also made similarly to give the illusion of being farther away. That makes sense, yeah. Yeah, you want them to feel distant. Whoa! This is part of the reason that we're updating the server. Hardware. Dang it, I was hoping we could get through this. Not sure what happened there. Dang it. Pulling up my laptop so I can SSH into the server real quick and try and figure out what's going on. Oh, great, my laptop is in the middle of installing a system update. Getting my phone out so I can SSH into the server. Not sure what happened there. All good? Question mark. Superstone says, weird that this happens on stream so much. Yes and no. I'm thinking it happens more on stream because a lot of people are trying to, like, do active stuff. This is why we're upgrading the hardware. I mean, it's not even that many active players, but I think it's that the players are actively doing more things than usual, maybe. I mean, at the beginning of the season, when we first launched the server, we'd have 10 or 20 people on it. We weren't having this many problems. But I also had turned down the render distance and a bunch of other things. Kind of toward the end, as the season goes on, I tend to turn up the render distance. And then I guess when we have a spike in player count or whatever, it doesn't. Anyway, we're upgrading the hardware within the next week. So, yeah. Let me just SSH in real quick. On my phone. Sudo. SU. Person that has Minecraft access. LS. Wait, no. CD. DF. What's the wrong thing? DF-H. Definitely not a disk full thing. We got 146 gigs of disks free. Yeah, bam, bam, bam. Okay, well, we'll worry about it later. Looks like there's someone advertising in the YouTube chat. Really? I am not looking for commissions right now, but thank you for offering. Mm-hmm. Woodland Juliet, I know I normally ban spammers immediately, but I don't think this person's a spammer. I think they've shown up before and they saw I was talking about emotes and were trying to be helpful. So, little different situation. Because we actually were actively talking about, like, the art that I was making earlier. So, which is why we had a few of these here. But, yeah, no, my brand is very hand-drawn stuff I've made myself and less hiring other folks to do things. Scrappy self-starter aesthetic. When I'm part of projects with other people, like the Hermitcraft TCG set, obviously, you know, I'm going to bring in professional illustrators. Yeah. Bum, 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 bum. Like, you know, I hired Luigra to make this painting of me that looked like the King Charles painting. No, I know you're professional, and I'm not trying to, yeah. Like, it's almost everything that I make that I put on my channel is going to be something I made. Because a part of my job for a while was graphic design, designing t-shirts, banners, posters, that sort of stuff. So, in general, I try to get stuff done. People are saying I'm done. Is time up? Me too. I was giving everybody an extra minute and a half because that was how long the server was down. And so, yeah. Basically, I was about to call it in about 30 seconds. But it looks like everybody is... Okay, yeah, let's say time up now. Yeah. When I give a 5-minute warning and the server immediately crashes, I feel like I owe you guys a couple extra minutes. So, yeah. Time up now. Let's go ahead and see if we head toward the front of the parade. So that way it looks like the floats are coming towards us. We're going to take a few minutes and talk to each person who has a float here. Kindleus, it looks like you're up first. Would you like to unmute and tell us what you got here?
Afternoon, Joe.
Afternoon.
I'm a fan of a lot of different film noir films, like, you know, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which is my favorite one. And one of the things they all have is, like, some kind of illegal speakeasy. But since we only have one, like, law right now for this event, I had to get creative with how I could break the rules.
Okay. Is this going to be full of colorful things inside?
Well, it's pretty...
Okay.
But it's the only thing that's illegal, so
yeah.
That's how
okay.
it works.
Okay.
I'm also super excited for future parades since we now have a precedent to now make up rules for other participants, which is amazing.
Yeah,
so
honestly,
that's really good.
Well, here's the thing is, like, if people had been doing this the whole time, I probably would have, you know, said, yeah, sure, if you, like, because, like, it's up to the people hosting the parade to say, like, hey, the parade theme is this. Don't do that because that would be outside the theme, you know? But yeah, okay. So we've got a solid element of fitting the aesthetic of noir, fitting the aesthetic of noir films with the speakeasies, with the illegal stuff. Now, this is ostensibly also a Labor Day parade. Is there a Labor Day element to this you'd like to introduce?
Well, one of the biggest things that speakeasies did back in the day was labor unions used them to organize because labor unions were also, kind of illegal a lot of the time in,
Mm-hmm.
our past. So they would congregate at places where they knew that everybody would be on the lookout for the police and not just, people's backyards or basements.
That is the correct answer. I was not going to feed that to you and ask, but yes. Okay, cool. We're good. Let's see what we've got for the next one. Thank you, Kindless. We've got, oh no, there's no sign. Whose float is this? Moonshell, is this yours? And will you be talking in
Yes.
text? Oh, okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you
All
now.
right.
So tell me what we're looking at.
Yes, I can't move around in Minecraft while talking because of issues. But
Yeah,
so
that's
this was inspired by noir films often being detective stories.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started thinking about how might that come into a float, and thought about, well, there's the game Clue, and that inspired some of this. I mean,
Okay.
Clue obviously itself isn't noir, but I'm going to pause and go around to the back, and then we'll see how this float that just says "Who Done It" turns into a game.
Did you create an entire board game parade float?
Yes.
Okay. Continue.
So we have here 6 different suspects back here at the back, 6 different weapons, and the list of 6 different rooms in this manner. And then, so in there will be, each room has a weapon hidden in it, and each room has a hint to one of the suspects in it. But to know, what version of the game you're playing, you'll hit one of these buttons here on one of these droppers, and that'll give you a clue to start with. So feel free to try it out and poke around a little bit. I have no idea how long it will take anybody to actually play a round of this. It might be 15 seconds, it might be 5 minutes, but so yeah.
Okay, well, I'm not going to take the time to actually play the game right now because we're in the middle of judging, but that is a really cool concept, and I hope that folks on the server get a chance to play it and enjoy it. Same follow-up question I had for Kindless. I see the clear Noir connection. Noir is technically hosting a Labor Day parade float build contest. What is the link between this and Labor Day?
I would have to say that Labor Day gives people an opportunity to take time off work and do fun things like play games or read detective novels.
Tenuous, but fair. Okay. Thank you very much, Moonshell. This is going to be a lot of fun. I hope folks on the server enjoy playing it. And down here, our third contestant is Alpaca-tastic. Alpaca, will you be joining us in voice or via text?
Yes, I'm here in voice. And
Excellent.
what we have here is a labor union formed by villagers and wandering traders to fight for better rights.
Okay. So tell me about that. So they've got little signs here, Wandering Traders and Villagers Union for the past. What does
Yes,
that mean?
because we are in 1930s New York. So we have
Instead of
traveled
for
into
the
the
future.
past. Exactly. If there was a Wandering Traders and Villagers Union for the future, that would be in a different parade.
That would be a
would more
cyberpunk
colorful.
parade at that point. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. So this is, more of a 1930s New York aesthetic.
Okay, yeah. I gotta say, all 3 of these are absolutely spectacular. I think that you've really captured the spirit of Labor Day best, rather than kind of glancing off it. But yeah, this is... Gritmonger points out, this is Alpaca's same float from the other Labor Day parade. Did you build this in a previous iteration of the server?
Actually, it was in the same iteration of the server because we've had the same parade twice in one season.
Do we have 2 Labor Day parades because it's been a whole year?
We have.
Oh my gosh. Wow, you're right. Yeah. At the route.
But like I said, since we have now traveled into the past,
Yeah, it's a
this is completely new.
where the today per day is Labor Day. Time is a flat circle. Yeah. I mean, I like the black and white mob heads. Like, there's a lot of really solid stuff here. Real quick, before we get to the judging, yeah, I got a tip rolling in from Chris who says, "The hills are alive with the sound of music," and rotates me a full hundo. Thank you very much to Chris for that incredibly generous gift. Your support of the stream is what makes it possible for me to make stuff like this happen. So appreciate it, Chris. We're going to rotate the camera 100 degrees angular. Do. I'm all the way to 50 now, 55, 58. After this, we are going to be judging. I got to say, it's in some ways harder to judge 3 floats than to judge 10 floats. I always give this little preamble where, like, we never have anybody who shows up and just doesn't really put their all into it. Or, like, people who are worried that they won't be able to come out here and put their all into it tend to say that around other people who are like, well, I'll help you, and then they create a team, and then they do something great. You know, we always have fantastic entries, and sometimes there's clear breakaways, but all of these are good for different reasons, okay? So, because we only have 3 entries, and we usually recognize the top 3, all of these are top 3. But, I mean, if we had 10 floats, all 3 of these might have been in the top 3 of those 10. These are some serious contenders. So thank you very much to Kindless, Moonshell, and Alpaca for these fantastic entries. Like, okay. On sheer theme and parade floatiness, like, in a lot of ways, Alpaca-tastics, it would, if we were just like, which of these is the most real Labor Day parade? Alpaca wins on that. We're not going to do first, second, third. I'm just going to say what I like most about each of these, and then I'm going to give you all stuff. Does that seem fair? Okay. So, we're going to give Alpaca 256 light blocks for having what I feel like, I look at this, and on a gut level, it excites me. I look at this. Oh, Superstone says we have suggestions for prizes. Type those out, Superstone, while I talk. The thing I love as a kid going to parades. And then when I got older, I was in college and after, I would go travel to like New Orleans and see parades in person there. So like I was used to like local small town parades as a kid and as a teenager. And then as an adult, like got to see like the top tier stuff they do at Mardi Gras. And just, there's a joy to it. And seeing floats like this brings me back there. That's something that just, it's evocative. Superstone says, all previous light blocks have been level 15, but all light levels are available. I recommend giving level 1 and 5 lights. How do I do that? Is that like block state or... It's in the creative inventory. Sorry, we got little... Okay, so if I go search for light... It's not in the creative inventory. Yeah, I need a command I can give. But okay. Turn on creative mode blocks. Okay, see that's you guys are giving me instructions that I don't know. That's too many that's too compressed an instruction. I feel like there are sub steps. How does one turn on creative mode blocks? So it's like if, you know, if we're on a plane and there's an emergency and you go, Joe, land the plane, I go, okay, that makes sense. I understand why we want to land the plane, but I feel like there's flaps and things. There's an order with smaller substeps, which I'm unfamiliar with. I'm vaguely aware that things can be enabled and disabled, but I don't know the mechanism by which to do them. Okay, so moving on, we can do those GIFs once we figure that out. Okay. So, we're going to just test this command by giving everyone who's in attendance gets 32 light level 1 blocks. Yeah. There we go. It has a different symbol than that. Wow, that's cool. I had no idea. Okay, cool. So, yeah, next up, I gotta say, I really appreciate how Moon Rose's float is designed to look really cool from the street, too. The front of it isn't quite as strong, but the board game element brings it back around in a way that's very interesting. I'm very excited to see how people... Did I say Moon Roses? Sorry, I meant Moonshell. Moonshell. I'm sorry, Moon Roses and Moonshell. I apologize to both of you. Yeah, Moonshell's build here. So this is what happens when you don't have a sign. This is why I'm always saying we gotta have signs. Except for today, I forgot to say it, and now I'm paying for it. Need to give Moonshell a nickel and Centauratron too. Apparently, everybody's getting nickels. Apparently, but yeah. People are asking why the camera's rotated. We rotate the camera 1 degree angular for every dollar that rolls in on these parade float streams. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/Joe Hills and YouTube Super Chat. Okay. So, Seabart says Labor Day in Canada is next week. Joe scared me. Well, the thing is, we don't do our Christmas parade on Christmas Day. We're not doing our Labor Day parade on Labor Day. We're doing it the week before, so that way people can go enjoy real Labor Day parades and stuff in their community, right? This is intentionally a week early, Seabart. Don't worry. I'm not trying to mess with your calendar. But anyway, Moonshell, I really like how the whole concept of having a mini game built into the parade float, very fun. You're creating an experience for the server to enjoy and pal around. And that's really fantastic. I really like that. So, yeah, best minigame. We're going to /give Moonshell Light 256. And these are just going to be the same ones I gave Alpacatastic. And then I'm going to also give you Light level equals 8. 32, and I'm going to give Alpacatastic Light level equals 832. Okay, so Kindleist's float. I love the malicious compliance. Everybody knows I'm a sucker for malicious compliance. Best malicious compliance that's thematically relevant. That's the other thing, is it's not just like, oh, look, I found a way to break the rules. It's, I found a way to break the rules that is on theme with the era of the setting and ties back into the holiday. Very, very good. Very, very good. It's important to follow the spirit of the rules and break the rules. Exactly. There can be multiple paths. We're very big into that sort of thing here. Multiple paths available. And they're not necessarily mutually exclusive to take. So, yeah. Kindleist wins. Like I said, I was genuinely like, somebody's going to do something obnoxious with color and it's going to stress me out. I was dreading this, but instead I'm delighted. You've turned my dread into delight. All of the, that's, you know, what people love about horror movies. So yeah, good job, Kindleist. Centauratron and Superstone, thank you again for hosting with your fantastic setting of Noir. Do either of you have anything you'd like to say? Closing remarks from our hosts?
I'd like to thank people for coming out. I'd also like to remind you, Joe, that we have a petition item on the docket.
Oh, we don't have petitions scheduled for today. Just
No, but from the last petition. Remember
What
the
was
biome
that?
change.
Biome change. Oh. Because it was going to make the water gray.
Yes, to convert
Is that
Noir
it?
into a pale garden.
Do I need to do that in, like, what kind of editor do I need to use that? Sorry, I lost track.
I have all of the commands prepared if you're ready to execute them.
I guess if we can execute them live on the server during an event, why not? I'm already, changing the game rules for do insomnia. Game rule, do insomnia. Time, set, day. Okay.
So this is a series of 14 commands. The first one expands the limit for modifying the block so that we don't have to do like 1,000 commands, and then the last one sets it back to normal so future commands don't accidentally cause problems.
I didn't know I could set that command block modification limit, but I love it. Okay, so the second command teleports me to basically where I was anyway, which is fine. So then fill biome, there to there, Minecraft Pale Garden. Oh. Wow. I kind of wish we had done this before the parade, but also I kind of love that we're doing this now. Like, honestly, I like doing it on stream. Like, this is really cool getting to see this happen live. I also appreciate that you gave me these teleport commands because I don't technically need to see these things for these to happen. These are absolute coordinates rather than relative coordinates. But this is so cool. This is super thoughtful of you. Sorry, I had forgotten about like I just get caught up. So much stuff going on. But yeah, this is very exciting. Love to see it. Almost done, folks. Okay, so that's behind me mostly. And game rule command block limit back down to 32. Man, if I had known that command block modification limit before, I would have changed how much TNT I could spawn way earlier. But look at this. This is indeed very cool. Mom Paka says this is incredible. Zoltan Snarf says this is so cool. Yeah, see, for the viewers at home, this is part of why I like running a survival server. Because the folks who play on the server get to enjoy the survival experience. But I also get to play God and occasionally, like, just do wild things. And so it's kind of fun. It's just kind of neat being able... I'm so sorry. I would have done this in the middle of the stream. I've forgotten that we had talked about this. But yeah, this is so cool. I'm glad we're getting to show it off now. Yeah, I almost feel like... I don't suppose you have the coordinates for this bit behind the Statue of Liberty as well. Or, because if you guys were going to run your...
don't, but we could get it quick.
Oh, I had agreed to do it at the end? Okay. Cool. Honestly, I forgot. Man, I'm really alarmed at how much stuff I'm forgetting on a regular basis. I'm excited. I've got so much cool stuff happening, and a lot of it I can't even talk about yet. Like the Hermitcraft merch store we launched, I couldn't talk about it in advance. I've got a bunch of behind-the-scenes stuff that I'm spending a lot of energy and focus on. But boy, am I very unfocused as a result. Good stuff is happening, but it is wearing me out. Yeah, it's interesting the kelp is still kind of green. I'm surprised Mojang didn't make like a sadder kelp color. Random Method says, this is pretty cool to watch. I know, right? I need an analog whiteboard. You're not wrong, Gritmonger. You're not wrong. I have always had huge whiteboards in my offices when I worked for other people. But now that I work for myself, I can't just be like, hey, can you have facilities come in and put in a 10-foot by 13-foot whiteboard? You know what I mean? Or a 10-foot by 15-foot whiteboard. They probably didn't expect kelp to exist in the biome because it normally exists pretty high up. That's a good point, too, yeah. Centauratron says if we didn't have the ability to position for this, we would have made a fake sky and water. Yeah, but a fake sky and water just wouldn't be the same, would it? Can't wait for the next rain with the new fog. Oh, I'm sure that'll look great, too. I'm sure that'll look great, too. We're just giving a few minutes. Superstone's getting those fresh coordinates for me so we can make sure this stretches a little bit further back here. I'm going to set the block limit back up higher again. And I'm going to quickly sanity check these values. That looks right to me. Whoops. Didn't see anything change there. Was that getting the ones further that way, maybe? Okay, that part changed. Yeah, so we got this part over here further. But yeah, I think we still need a couple more to get this bit. Yeah, so that's the part that we just changed. They make whiteboard paint. Yeah, I know. Here's the other thing, Gritmonger, is like, once again, though, like my workspace, every wall in this garage is full of shelves with like green screen curtains hanging over them. Like we're in from the walls significantly. Try this next one too. Okay, cool. Another one coming in. Welcome to the garden. It is very pale. I mean, it seems like we just need to get the coordinates for back here, right? Like if we come back this far. So let's see, this is negative 13, 38, 994. People are saying the buildings actually seem like they're more colorful now that we've made the sky black and white. And Kindleist points out, yeah, brains were trained by televisions to add color to things that are completely black and white. Yeah, photographs and stuff. I have to be in the middle of the area to load the chunks. Oh, was I not loading the chunks that they were in? It feels like where I'm at now. Yeah. The Critmonger says there's a ceiling. Yeah, whiteboard paint on the ceiling would go over real well. Well, I'm not going to worry too much about it. It's still way better than it was. And in some ways, the island kind of being the transition point there isn't terrible either. Oh, yeah, that little bit of brown in the pale oak just really stands out like crazy now. And the, yeah, with the skies different. Oh, I didn't even see this little American flag made of different banners. That's really impressive. Okay. So let's see. Time set day again real quick. We got one more set of coordinates that just rolled in from Superstone. Let's see if these work if we fly over here. Mini Zoekin says this really is an incredible theme and execution. Whoops. You know, I'm not sure. Like, when I'm looking at this, where I'm at right now is negative. So, all of the numbers you posted, Superstone, on the Z have been around 700. And we need numbers probably that are bigger than 700. Like between 700 and 900. Yeah, like Kindlist just suggested. Yeah, that's what we were looking for. / weather. Oh wait, you said you guys wanted to see the you wanted to see this with the rain. Thank you, Kindlist. It's a shame the rain's still blue. But yeah, there we go. Very cool. Very cool. Great job to everybody who participated and built floats. Thank you again to Superstone and Centauratron. Centauratron, if you didn't know, also made these really cute little fabric Joe and Badger dolls that we've got. Yay, Centauratron. Okay. So Superstone says there's a mod that changes rain color to biome color. I should get that. Awesome. Yeah, feel free. I don't mind people installing client-side stuff. This is looking great. You guys really did a fantastic job. Let's get one more view. Vibrant visuals adds the fog. Ah, okay. Walking down the street, seeing the parade floats. Flying down the street because it's slightly faster. Very cool. Very cool. Thank you all so much for hanging out today. I'm going to do... Oh, we got another... Whoa! C. Bart, thank you so much, C. Bart 1987, for being incredibly generous. A few minutes ago, he said, found my wallet. And I was like, oh, I wonder what that means. Thank you. Seabart says, what's this button do? And tips 400. So, okay. Let's go ahead and if we find... Where's the transform? Edit transform. So we currently rotated 100 degrees angular. But we're about to be rotated... Let's see, the first 260 is going to get us all the way around here. Do. La da da da. La da da da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Whoa! This is not quick. I'm both scrolling with the scroll wheel and holding the up button on OBS. So then when we hit 360 degrees, well, things are about to get a little crazy here. We can't play music because it'll mess up the VOD, so I guess I'm going to have to sing a parody of Paperback Writer that I wrote, despite not being good at remembering how it goes. Webcam expander. Webcam expander. Da-da-da. It's off-color optics from a broken cam, and some of the chat just throws up its hands. The Jost is beetled for showtime now. It's a heady job, and he wants to be a webcam expander. Webcam expander. Alrighty, what up, everybody? It's me, the Beetlejuice. Let's see. So, the first 260 of that 400 from Seabart got us to full spin. So what does that leave left? Boy, 400 minus 260, 140. So we're going to rotate the camera now to 140 degrees angular. Thank you very much to Seabart for that. Really appreciate it. It is a very opportune time for tips, believe me. We've got, like I said, a lot of things, a lot of irons in the fire, a lot of things where money's coming in the long term, and money's going out investing in things in the short term. So thank you for helping us pay rent and our health insurance this month. I really appreciate it, Seabart. This is very, very deeply appreciated. Okay. Cool. So, if anybody else would like to tip, just as a reminder, tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Hey, yeah, we have a Beetlejuice emote now. Well, that's not technically a Beetlejuice. That's just Joe Hills in a Beetlejuice jacket, but whatever. That's September Joe is the name of that emote because of the old me in September, me in October meme. Okay. Core concept. We got... Oh, hey, Seabart. Sorry you missed it. But I deeply appreciate the tip. Thank you so much. I was just saying, things have been kind of tight this month. I've got a lot of projects I've been working on that I'm expecting to get paid for in the long term. And I had a lot of short-term expenses going into them. And so, yeah, we're kind of stretched thin around here. And you have really relieved a lot of stress. Because, yeah, we're still, like, in the, like, okay, we're kind of on track to make rent and health insurance this month. If we can make it to, like, November, December, we're going to be set. But, like, oh boy, this month is tight. So, thank you so much for your help there, Seabart. I deeply appreciate it. Okay. Very timely, very appreciated. Let's see. So, oh yeah, Superstone and Centauratron are reminding folks to take their gift boxes. Thank you so much for hosting this event. Once again, this was the final parade float build contest from the 10th Oreward server. All 12 of our company towns have now hosted their parades. We're going to be launching a new server, a new flagship server, whenever the next Hermitcraft server launches, which obviously is a ways out still, but it's too late to start a new 12-month cycle in the server. We do have one more big 10th Oreward event that I'm going to be announcing dates for in the near future, which is going to be our map design build contest. Looking forward to that. Should be a lot of fun. A lot of people have had 3 months, basically, to work on making some really cool maps. I'm going to be bringing in some outside judges, but scheduling has been tight on that because we have a bunch of Hermitcraft weekend events coming up, and I need to wait until those get locked in before I schedule my stuff. So, anyway, let's see. Final things that I need to mention. Don't forget, stream schedule is always available at joehills.net/soon. If you want to join this Discord and Patreon Minecraft server, $5 a month gets you on my Discord, $10 a month gets you on my Minecraft server via Patreon. I'm going to be sending out invites later today because we've had at least one person sign up between yesterday and today. I do those invites by hand in a batch every day. If you're like, oh, I hate being on people's Patreon Discords because all I do is fight with the Discord Patreon API. Don't worry, Joe Hills won't do that. Joe Hills will manually invite you because I would rather personally, send a message to everybody who joins. Because a lot of times there are people who've been hanging out in chat for years. Sometimes people are like, I was nervous about joining your Patreon server because I thought I wouldn't know anybody. But then it's like all the same few dozen people I constantly see in your chat and comment section. Oh, that's nice. Cool. But anyway, yeah, I don't want some sort of dumb bot getting, if somebody steals 500 credit cards, I don't want them setting up 500 new accounts and then spamming my community Discord. So, yeah. That's the Joe Hills difference, says Mini Zokins. Yep. manual invites from Joe Hills once per day, except for when I'm traveling. So, yeah, those invites are going out later. Let's see. What else have I got to mention to you guys? Hermitcraft recently launched a shop. You can find our shop at hermitcraft.com. I'm very excited to see some of y'all get some of this stuff into your hands. I'm very, very excited about what I've already got in my hands. Where is it? Somewhere. Oh, it's on my head. I'm still wearing. I'm like, where did I put that HC cap? Yeah, the HC cap is good old HC cap, still actually being worn. HC on the back, National Park style design on the front. You guys can see the actual true color version of it at shop.hermitcraft.com. Seabart says, keep being Joe and Badger, heart emote. Thank you very much, Seabart. My family really appreciates the support of everybody who shows up and tips. Like, we're very fortunate to get to be like able to like work with so many cool people and meet so many cool people. Like, yeah, y'all are amazing. Mom Pocket says, loved seeing your pinball machine featured in the merch. I know, I'm so thrilled too. Weather cycle on and insomnia on. Yes. Game rule. Do insomnia. Oh. That needs to be set to true, yeah. True! Okay, so game rule. Do weather cycle. True. Game rule. Do daylight cycle. True. Yeah, those are all set. Oh, man, I am loving this biome change. This is making me so pleased. I'm just absolutely delighted about this. Okay. Let's see. What else do we need to mention for y'all before we wrap up? Yeah, Centauratron, it really ties the place together. I'm really excited to see what you guys do with this, with the time remaining. Once again, this server is locked to the Hermitcraft server reset cycle. Some of my other servers, not so much. But yeah, this one, once we get a new seed for Hermitcraft, this server will reset. Now, here's the thing. That also doesn't necessarily mean once Hermitcraft resets, this server will reset. In the past, there have been occasions where we started a new season of Hermitcraft where we had one of our staff members, or Hermitcraft itself doesn't have employees, but one of the employees of one of the hermits who we trust, we gave them a list of things we wanted from a seed, and we said, find us something good. And they didn't tell us the actual seed. So, like, Isuma didn't know the seed. Doc didn't know the seed. None of us had the actual seed. And we, somebody figured it out a week later based on bedrock patterns. But my flagship server couldn't reset until we actually knew the seed. So, yeah, it'll be a while until this server resets. But we are definitely getting toward the end of the server's life cycle, having gotten through all 12 parades, which was a real delight. I'm so pleased with everything that y'all have accomplished, and I hope you're proud of yourselves. I hope you had fun the whole way. You don't need validation from me. You guys are obviously doing a great job, and I really appreciate being invited to stop by and check all this out. And I love that the stuff, like things like doing that biome change. Like, there's little ways where having kind of an outside person with god powers occasionally pop in and mess with things can improve a server. And I'm pleased that's a service I can offer. Okay. Sorry, I'm starting to talk in circles. We've given enough time for that last call for tips. And any tips that roll in after this point, I'll go ahead and acknowledge at the beginning of tonight's stream. You can always find my stream schedule at joehills.net/soon. Let me go ahead to twitch.tv/following here. Actually, I'm realizing I never actually did a hard refresh on PayPal. One last hard refresh, just to make sure we haven't missed anybody. Nope, we are all good. Okay, cool. Hey, it looks like Jamal is streaming some Minecraft. If you haven't seen Jamal, he's doing amazing work. I call him a fractal builder because everything he builds looks amazing from both close up and a distance. You might look at something he builds from one angle and be like, This is such a perfect build from this angle that it must be designed. It must be a facade. This build must be designed to only be viewed from the exact place I'm standing right now. I can't imagine a build looking this good from any other angle. And then you walk around it, you go into it, you go further away. Every part of it feels like that. It's absolutely brilliant work. When you get over to Jamal, go ahead and tell him howdy y'all. Joe Hill's right here. He looks like he's flying over his Japanese-inspired city right now. Well, he might be past it. But yeah, he's got all sorts of crazy, crazy large-scale builds. I hope you enjoy his work. So anyway, until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Stop streaming, stop in the stream, just as soon as YouTube lets me. Dear YouTube, why does this have to be such a hassle every time?